Hi guys, welcome to a very casual video about the DSC367 Dewalt reciprocating saw. I chose this saw for a couple of reasons. It's fairly compact for a reciprocating saw. It does have a bit of weight to it. It's got a fairly long stroke, which is the length that the saw moves in and out, and that's 28.6 millimeters. So you just get a little more length of the blade involved in every cut, so your blades should last a little bit longer and you just should have a little bit more power getting through the wood. Probably slightly better sawdust ejection. The downside is it's a bit to handle. It's like a little jackhammer almost. You do want to wear earmuffs. It's very loud, and gloves helps just a little bit. Just leather gloves helps a little bit with vibration. Take your watch off if you have a mechanical watch. And it's a very amazing tool. The blade just comes out by lifting up this catch here and pulling that out. Anyone can do it, folks. It's very easy. You don't have to be a tradie. I've used this for probably a year and a half, and over winter here in Australia I've been using it constantly. I've been burning wood to stay warm every night for about 3.5, 4 months so far. Probably 4.5 months, and this has cut all my wood. It's been used to cut firewood. Normally I'm using a 9-inch blade, which is this long. This is a really bad type of blade, so don't buy these ones. I'll get to the blades in a minute. And I'm normally cutting timber anywhere from 1.5, 2 inches, all the way up to about 7 inches. Occasionally I'll cut a bigger piece. It is rated to cut up to 12 inches or 300 millimeters of wood, this saw, and you can get 12-inch blades by Dewalt. They do cost a bit. Dewalt blades aren't very cheap, unfortunately, but the saw is holding up really well and runs on a standard 18-volt 5-amp-hour battery. It's amazing how much wood you can cut off one battery. Do not, under any circumstances, use a cheap eBay no-brand battery. I did another video on those. They do not power this tool. I mean, they will initially, but after 10 or 20 cycles and a couple of months of ownership, those generic batteries don't have enough power to move this when it's in the cut. I cut the wood to about 2-meter lengths out in the field, toss it in my trailer. I've got a 7-foot trailer, pile it up, and then drive it home. And I can fill up the whole trailer, believe it or not, off one battery. It's not a ton of cuts because you're just cutting it to length to get it on board. And then at home I just cut it to like 1.5 foot lengths for my 2 wood heaters that I use. And it's insane how much wood you can cut off one battery. These Dewalt blades, and they're a yellow, the whole thing is yellow when you buy them. The paint wears off, but I think they're a bimetal blade, and they're insanely long lasting. Like, I've actually never had one fully go blunt. How do I lose them? If I get it stuck in the cut and a tree falls over or something, then they snap here when they go up, but they don't bend. They take a lot of abuse. If you stab it into something and there's a bit of shock to it, it's fine. The cheaper blades will bend if you do that, and just last a really long time. They cut fast. Look, you're not as fast as a chainsaw. You're probably 4 times slower, but relatively quiet. So simple. No bar oil needed. No fuel, no oil, no tightening of the chain, and if you're just running a wood heater, very easy to use this to cut all the wood that you need. Now, I will say I don't know how long this saw is going to last with the work that I'm putting into it. I ain't no tradie. I mean, look at my hands, guys. I ain't no tradie, but I've cut tons of wood with this thing so far. Probably like 6 trailer loads over winter. So it's going strong, but it's not meant to do this much work, I don't think. I'm guessing somewhere inside there'll be a bearing that wears out one day, but the fact it's lasted as long as it has, I think it's, a good sign. Show you the other side. I don't think there's really anything special here going on, but that's the other view. Made in the USA. Reasonably compact. It is pretty heavy, but it has to have a fair bit of beef inside of it to just withstand the vibrations. And the key when using it is to, you see this is sort of spring-loaded jaws, just like put downward force on the saw, and that'll stop the vibration. The worst thing is if you hit, I don't know if I have a ruler here, but if you hit like a flexible branch, the whole branch will vibrate with the saw vibrating with it, and that is very unpleasant. So it's actually the little whiffy branches that are difficult to cut. So anyway, guys, I can't recommend it enough. It's been through a fair bit of use, probably a lot more use than a tradie would have used it for. I have used it for a bit of tradie-like work with demolition inside an old house. Had to take some dry rot out and cut through some hardwood. No trouble at all. Very easy with these little blades, and it's weird how you can almost do like a plunge cut with these, and they don't seem to worry too much if you sort of end up with this sort of stabbed into the wood without shooting through the other side. This is a 6-inch blade. I normally use a 9-inch. I haven't tried the 12-inch yet. I'll just on the blades. These cheap orange ones from eBay are garbage. I think the angle of the teeth is wrong. You can see like that. The saw actually cuts on the reverse stroke. So that means if it's going to catch, it's pulling the saw in towards the work, which is a very smart design. I also have some cheap 6-inch blades, which are a white colour from eBay, and so this one won't cut. It's cuts 5 times slower than it should. The cheap white ones, they bend when they get hot, whereas these ones don't. And they just don't go blunt. It's incredible. So that's it, guys. I don't know if I can add anything else. You want to hear the noise? Something like that. Pretty shrill. Definitely. Let me actually do it with the blade, and then you can maybe get an idea of the stroke length. Very easy to. Oh, you can put the blade in at 90 degrees if you're in a hard reach area. Too bad I've got the ruler under the camera. Take that out. You see that stroke length. So yeah, in summary, great tool, good and official Dewalt battery. I'm told the 6 amp hours or the power stacks from Dewalt are actually even more powerful, but this one's gone fine. Always use the Dewalt blades, or at least some brand name, probably Milwaukee or Makita's just fine. And it's been through a full season of cutting firewood, burning it every night, so pretty good field test. It probably isn't meant to do that much work, but you know what, I think I paid like 350 or 380 Australian dollars. Certainly saved me a lot more off my power bill this year, so it's paid for itself. Can cut steel pipe, you can get finer blades and cut aluminium and steel. I have done that as well. Pine, hardwood, wattle, casuarina, cuts anything you put in front of it really. And just get a nice solid support is the main thing. Starting to waffle, so I think I'll leave it there. Thanks for watching.